The Young and the Restless, Spoilers. Jill Abbott had always been a formidable force in Genoa City, a woman with an iron will who had earned her place among the titans of the business world. So, when word spread that she would soon return to town, tensions immediately rose, especially at Chancellor Abbott. Jill's son, Billy Abbott, had been steering the ship in her absence, making decisions for the company that he believed were in its best interest. But Jill, known for her critical eye and sharp instincts, had already expressed doubts about Billy's leadership. She had openly questioned whether he was capable of managing the complex dynamics of the company, especially with the mounting competition from Victor Newman and Newman Enterprises. Jill's declaration that she would return to Genoa soon put everyone on edge. It was clear that she intended to take a close look at the decisions Billy had made in her absence, and, more importantly, whether those decisions aligned with her vision for the future of Chancellor Abbott. Billy, who had always sought approval from his mother but also longed for her respect, was now walking a tightrope, knowing full well that Jill could overturn everything he had done. What Jill failed to realize, however, was that Billy had not been idle. While she had already dismissed him as foolish and reckless, she hadn't taken the time to recognize how hard he had worked to keep the company afloat during challenging times. Billy had poured his heart and soul into Chancellor Abbott, doing his best to preserve its legacy while also forging a path that would ensure its success in the modern world. But Jill's preconceived notions about her son, her belief that he was impulsive and often misguided, colored her view of his leadership. The real wedge, however, had been driven by none other than Lily Winters. Lily had once been a trusted ally to Billy, but their relationship had soured as business pressures mounted. Instead of standing by his side, Lily had become manipulative, feeding Jill lies and half-truths about Billy's actions and motivations. Lily, hungry for power herself, saw an opportunity to widen the rift between mother and son, whispering in Jill's ear and painting Billy as a reckless, irresponsible leader who was running Chancellor Abbott into the ground. Billy, for his part, was no fool. He had recognized Lily's betrayal long ago, but had chosen not to confront her directly. He was not one to play games or engage in petty squabbles. His focus had always been on the company, not on personal vendettas. However, Lily's lies had taken root in Jill's mind, and now Jill had made up her mind. Billy wasn't fit to lead. As soon as she arrived in Genoa, Jill called for a meeting at Chancellor Abbott. Billy could sense the storm brewing. He had tried to communicate with his mother, to show her the progress he had made. But Jill was determined to, rather than fight back or argue with his mother, Billy made a decision that would change the course of his life. He quit. He walked away from Chancellor Abbott, tired of trying to earn the approval of someone who could never see him for who he truly was. It was a painful decision, but one that Billy knew was necessary for his own sanity and self-respect. After leaving Chancellor, Billy headed straight to his brother, Jack Abbott. Jack, always supportive of Billy, was not surprised by his decision. In fact, Jack had been hoping for this moment for some time. With Kyle's recent departure from Jabot, there was a perfect opening for Billy. A chance to step into the role of COO, a position that had been vacated and left the company in need of strong leadership. When Billy approached Jack about joining Jabot, Jack was thrilled. The two brothers had their ups and downs over the years, but deep down, Jack had always admired Billy's tenacity and resilience. With Billy back in the family business, Jack saw an opportunity not just to restore Jabot's strength, but also to mend the broken bond between them. Billy's new role at Jabot as COO marked a fresh start. It was an opportunity for him to escape the shadow of his mother and to finally stand on his own 2 feet without the weight of Jill's expectations crushing him. And Jack, who had long been entangled in his own battles with Victor Newman, saw in Billy the perfect partner to finally take down their longtime rival. Victor Newman had been a thorn in the side of the Abbott family for decades. His relentless ambition and cutthroat business tactics had caused the Abbotts no end of grief, and Jack had been looking for a way to strike back. Now, with Billy at his side, the possibility of beating Victor once and for all seemed within reach. The timing of Jill's return to Genoa City was no coincidence, and Jack knew it. With Chancellor Abbott in turmoil, and with Billy now out of the picture there, Victor would no doubt be watching closely, waiting for any sign of weakness to exploit. But what Victor didn't know was that the Abbott brothers were about to launch a new offensive. Together, Jack and Billy were stronger than they had ever been apart. And with Billy's keen understanding of the inner workings of Chancellor Abbott, they had an advantage that could tip the scales in their favor. The battle lines were drawn. On one side was Victor Newman, a man who would stop at nothing to maintain his empire, and on the other were Jack and Billy, ready to reclaim their family's legacy. As they prepared for what was sure to be a long and grueling fight, they knew that the stakes had never been higher. Jill's return to Genoa, while initially seen as a disruption, had inadvertently set the stage for a new chapter in the Abbott family saga. Billy's departure from Chancellor Abbott was not a defeat, but a liberation, one that allowed him to chart his own course.